The Oklahoma Sooners get another commit here in the 2026 recruiting cycle. DeMarco Murray finally getting a win, getting a running back here in this cycle. So, of course, today we're not only going to talk about DeZephon Walker's commitment to Oklahoma, making this the 34th class in the country, Oklahoma's 11th commit, 6 on the offensive side of the ball. We're also going to talk about another visitor that was on campus for an official visit. We're also potentially going to talk about some potential bad news coming down the line, something you just need to be paying attention to, keep it in the back of your mind. Before we do that, though, as always, I need to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Let me know what you guys think about Oklahoma's recent addition here in this 2026 class. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is where I tell you, if you're not subscribed, you're going to be missing out on all of this recruiting content that we're putting out to you guys for free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. But we got to talk about DeZephon Walker, who just committed to Oklahoma. 4-star running back, 5'11", 190 pounds, out of Peculiar, Missouri, out of Raymore Peculiar High School. This was a big win for Oklahoma, in my opinion. And that is because he had a total of 25 offers. And I always tell you, the offer sheet really tells you what kind of player this guy is, because the offers tell you what schools were interested. And you can always look for the schools that do really good at developing that specific position. So I look at the list and I see Georgia. I see Notre Dame. I see Oregon. I see, I'm not going to say A&M, even though they're a big name, because A&M don't develop well, but Auburn in Florida, right? So you see multiple SEC schools. You see some Big 12 schools, Kansas State, who were local to him. 2 teams that were going to get official. Actually, he took official visits too. But for Oklahoma, this was a big win because you keep DeZephon Walker from visiting Nebraska, where he had been, I think it was like 4 or 5 times. And Nebraska is a school that a lot of Oklahoma fans are very familiar with causing problems. You guys remember Cortez Mills last year. So, and Grant Bricks before that. Nebraska is a school that, don't let people fool you, they're on the up and up. So for Oklahoma to be able to get this commitment from DeZephon Walker, prevent him from taking that visit where he had been 4 or 5 times after he had only just gotten the offer, like, what was it, like 2 months ago? DeMarco Murray had every disadvantage of the book. DeMarco Murray was able to close the deal. And this was big because you lost Jonathan Hatton earlier in the cycle. And so you really didn't know where the running back position was going to go. So Ryan Estrada, we'll have to see if he's still on the table. But DeZephon Walker was originally going to be visiting Oklahoma the weekend, or Notre Dame the weekend he was supposed to come to Oklahoma. He ends up canceling that visit, which you can believe it was because Notre Dame took other running backs, or because he got the Oklahoma offer and DeMarco Murray's a superstar, because we all know that plays a factor into things. But Oklahoma gets the official visit. They're able to close things out. I think that's big time for Oklahoma, giving them their 11th commit here in the class. Oklahoma fans really don't need to worry anymore. But Oklahoma didn't just have DeZephon Walker on campus this weekend. Oklahoma had some other big-time targets on campus. And the first one that I think we really got to be able to talk about is Josiah Jefferson. Josiah Jefferson, if you're familiar with this name, this is, I believe, a cousin or a brother to the former Oklahoma standout safety who has had a long, full career in the NFL, Tony Jefferson. Josiah Jefferson is coming from community college. So, hey, Tony Jefferson reached out on Twitter. Jim Nagy had the conversation. They had the evaluation. He was there this week. He got a chance to see him at the camps. Big-time body. Oklahoma needs depth at the tight end position. They definitely need somebody that can go out there and produce at a high level. So I look at Josiah Jefferson, and if he can get on campus this summer and be there for fall camp, this could potentially be a guy that could see rotational snaps for you. And I think that's a big deal because Oklahoma needs everything they can get at the tight end position, because you need to have some margin for error there, because I think you're going to have some misses on that tight end room, and you need to be able to have multiple guys that you can turn to. Now, we'll have to see kind of where his status is going to be. I would imagine that if you're Oklahoma, you're probably going to get the deal closed with Josiah Jefferson pretty quickly. You're probably not going to let that one go on too long. Now, Kind of on to some other recruiting news. And this kind of recently popped up. This shocked a lot of people this morning. I remember getting on Twitter, getting on the Discords, and seeing a lot of people freak out here. Will Conroy, the 6'3", 280-pound inside offensive lineman from IMG Academy, the guy that's been helping you recruit Jake Krull to the University of Oklahoma, just recently took an OV to North Carolina, going to see Bill Belichick. Now, again, I think a lot of people did not see this coming. The Tar Heels offered him on January 28th. This would have been after Bill Belichick got on campus. He's supposed to be on campus next week for the Champion Barbecue. And if you're an Oklahoma fan, you were really hoping that Will Conroy was going to be able to help try to seal the deal with Jake Krull and maybe some other IMG Academy prospects. I'm not too worried yet about Will Conroy's commitment to Oklahoma. Things could quickly change, though. It's recruiting. That's just how it is. But I know everybody's going to have questions on this because of Brent Venables' policy. Just because he visited North Carolina does not mean they're pulling the offer from Will Conroy. It just means that they might decide to continue to recruit other guys at this position and recruit over him. Now, this could be nothing. Will Conroy could decide to stay committed in this class. And then we all got worried for nothing. But it is noticeable to bring up, Will Conroy did visit North Carolina this past weekend. And that leaves you to answer that leaves you with the question. What's Oklahoma going to do at the inside offensive line position if a guy like Will Conroy decommits? Well, you've got Deacon Schmidt on commit watch. I think that's one guy that a lot of Oklahoma fans are looking to see if he commits. Now, he's going to be an offensive tackle. He's listed an inside offensive lineman, but he's going to play tackle for Oklahoma. Additionally, if you scroll down, I like Duron Parks, the 6'5", 350-pound inside offensive lineman. Great prospect for Oklahoma. One that I think if they lose a guy like Will Conroy, they could definitely try to close in on. That's really going to be about it. I know a lot of people like Desmond Green. I originally liked him too coming off his official visit. I'm just not 100% sold there. Got to battle South Carolina. For Oklahoma, I think it's more ideal to keep Will Conroy committed in this class and do whatever it takes. I think Will Conroy's a beast, gives you more inflow into the IMG pipeline, and I think that's something that can never go wrong for you. So that's kind of what we got going on today on the recruiting news, on the recruiting side of things. Obviously, like I said, we have a couple commits coming up towards the end of the month. So make sure you guys are staying tuned in because we're going to keep you guys up to date. Oklahoma's got a huge official visit weekend, and I would imagine Oklahoma's going to have several commits out of that weekend as well. So we'll keep you guys up to date on who's going to be showing up on campus towards the end of the week. And then we'll recap who is on campus and kind of give you our thoughts on whether or not we think somebody could drop. So jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and you hit that subscribe button.